Federal judge crushes Biden's dodge, pulls the veil off hypocrisy. A federal judge has said that he believed that Department of Justice has not been even-handed with the people involved in the protest on January 6 at the Capitol. The U.S. Attorney's Office would have more credibility if it was even-handed in its concern about riots and mobs in the city, District Judge Trevor McFadden said on Friday at a sentencing hearing for one of the defendants. The judge cited complaints from DC Mayor Muriel Bowser that the DOJ was reluctant to charge any of the people involved in the incident after the murder of George Floyd. CNN reported the judge, who was appointed by President Donald Trump, talked about the unrest that happened last year when he sentenced defendant Danielle Doyle, a former employee of the Oklahoma City Thunder basketball team. The defendant had pleaded guilty to the misdemeanor charge of unlawfully protesting at the Capitol. "You were acting like those looters and rioters who attacked our city last year," the judge said to the defendant. "You participated in a shameful event, a national embarrassment that, like last year's riots, made us feel less safe and less confident that our country could be governed by democratic values and not mob rule." The judge's rebuke of the Justice Department may be welcomed by Republicans who have argued that the January 6 rioters are being treated unfairly. Prosecutors have pushed back on those claims, and McFadden himself has already rejected one attempt by a January 6 defendant to argue that the charges should be dropped because they were politically motivated. Prosecutors have previously argued that the comparison is unfair and that the insurrection was worse than riots in Portland, Oregon, and other cities last year. They said the January 6 attack was much larger and put hundreds of lawmakers in imminent danger. They also have noted it was easier to prosecute the Capitol rioters because many of them live-streamed their crimes. Prosecutors had recommended 2 months of house arrest for Doyle, but McFadden instead gave her a $3,000 fine and ordered her to pay $500 for damages to the Capitol complex. The fine was the heftiest financial penalty that a judge has levied so far against an insurrection defendant. Doyle is one of several rioters who were sentenced this week, as the pace of guilty pleas and sentencings ramps up. It comes amid a public debate over what the punishments should be. A recent survey from the Pew Research Center found that about half of Americans believe the punishments haven't been severe enough. Only 20% said the punishments are too severe. Last week a federal judge went off on one of the Capitol defendants, Anthony Mariotto, at a plea hearing, CNN reported. "You've disgraced this country in the eyes of the world, and my inclination is to lock you up," Judge Reggie B. Walton said to Mariotto, who pleaded guilty to one misdemeanor charge. "I found it outrageous that American citizens would do what you did. To see someone destroy or try to destroy the Capitol is very troubling to me," he said. "America was not great on that day. And I'm sure when I go to other jurisdictions to say how they can be like America, they'll say, why should I want to be like America when you are all trying to tear down your own country," the judge said. "What if the next time around the Democrats lose the presidency, and that person says I won despite what the results say, and another mob tries to tear down the Capitol?" Judge Walton said. "I guess that would be all right in light of what you did, right?"